See, I get smoked, nigga.
Work, nigga. Gang, B-I-B-O,
One double O,
B-I-B-O.
Big B-boy on them gang shit, and I'm a rocket
B-boy on them
nigga. Became my blunt, bitch.
You're watching the master at work.
Smoke 'em like a PK, that's CG. On the rain, still smoke on your.
Hey yo, what up squad? Welcome back to HOODROK Entertainment, the realest, illest, dopest, and most active reaction channel on YouTube. Bruh, you read that title? Hell yeah, you read that title. So we're back with some more Michael Jordan. Now this one here, NBA legends and players who share who they think is better, LeBron or Michael. Now bro, we know why I think Michael Jordan is the best, and he will always be the greatest of all time, bro. Simply because, look, people are finding it hard to even catch his numbers now, right? And you got to remember, bro, he did a lot of this shit playing in Jordan 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. The medical equipment, the recovery technology, all that kind of shit, bro. You can try and catch his numbers all you like, but you'll never be able to recreate how he did it, bro. Like the shoes he did it in, the amount of time that he did it in. All of that shit. Hey, LeBron might get 6 championships, but did he get them 2 3-peats back to back? And in Jordan's personal like portfolio, he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finals in a row. That's how in his personal. He might have had 2 years off, but when it comes to basketball finals, he played 6 basketball finals in a row. Even though he retired for 2 years, and he won all 6, and he was MVP in all 6. These are things that you just can't beat, bro. So this is why I think it doesn't matter if LeBron gets 6 or 7 or 8 championships, bro. It's not about that. It's about how you went about getting them and all of that. You know what I mean? Because numbers only look cool on paper, but in reality, that ain't what it all is. So anyway, we're going to get into this, but run the numbers up on this. I think LeBron's a dope player, bro. He's in my top 5. He's definitely in my top 5. That's, hands down. Do you know what I mean? But Jordan's Jordan, bro. So, let's see what these legends, players, let's see what they say.
Hey man, it's your boy YG aka Yangala, and this debate is never going to end. Every time I hear the LeBron versus MJ argument, I just avoid it now, because it's almost impossible to change somebody's opinion about a player if they grew up watching them. But we're going.
Another thing, bro, the rules were different. The rules are easier now. Right? The rules are easier. It makes it easier for people to get to the basket. You can barely breathe on a player without getting, without getting called, penalized the foul and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's quite funny that people can still try and compare players from now to players back in the days, bro. Because there really ain't no comparison when it comes to the physicality, when it comes to the type of shoes they played in, when it comes to the type of, the access they had and the type of technology they had with recovery stuff, with training equipment, all of that shit. You know what I mean?
We're going to hear more of this once LeBron retired. And honestly, they're 2 different players that have 2 different play styles and played in 2.
Even research and diets and shit have changed now, bro. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of the diets and stuff that these dudes were on back in the days, diets and stuff that they're on now and all of that, added with the type of technology and the training equipment and stuff like that. Come on, bro.
2 different eras. It's like comparing apples and oranges. But that's what makes the debate fun, because you get to hear 2 different perspectives of a fan that grew up watching Michael Jordan play and a fan that grew up watching LeBron play. But I always wonder, what do NBA legends have to say who's better? So anyways, man, we're gonna listen to NBA legends and players share who they think is better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. But before we get straight into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the culture so you won't be missing any of my videos. And let's get to the vid, man.
So, I got to watch both. I grew up watching Michael. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? So, I was privileged enough to watch Michael Jordan play. I was too young. I was watching Michael Jordan play in his rookie season and shit like that, but I was too young to realize what was going on. You know what I mean? It was my older brother and stuff that was sitting there watching it. All right, I would have been about 6 years old or something.
Peer, MJ, to obviously the greatest in the world today in a lot of people's eyes, in LeBron James. What do you feel about those comparisons specifically?
Well, first of all, let's not take anything away from LeBron James.
Facts.
Because LeBron James...
Big facts. You can't take shit away from LeBron, bro. LeBron's one of my top 5 players of all time, bro. You know what I mean? But he's just not Michael Jordan, but he's definitely in my top 5. Has to be, bro. You know, how old was I when... So when Jordan retired, I was 13. 14, I was 14. I was 14 years old.
Is a great basketball player, one of the all-time greatest that's ever played the game. LeBron James, to me, when you think about all-around basketball player, he probably is the best of all time, right? All-around basketball player. But when you want to say who's the greatest ever, it's still Michael Jordan. Now, LeBron James' chapter is not closed yet, right? He still has some basketball to play. So
Facts.
maybe he has a chance to catch him later on if he can get some more championships under his belt. But at the end of the day, they're both great, and they played the game the right way. They made their teammates better. They've won championships, and thank God for LeBron, because right now, that's what we're watching. We're watching LeBron James. This is his time. This is his era, and he's dominating this era and in his time.
No, I mean, I disagree with Zeke. I think Jordan is the greatest of all time in my book. You know?
What makes him better as a basketball player? Not the rings argument. What makes him better as a basketball player, like Scotty just described? What makes him better to you?
For me, I think just completely just taking over games, you know, when it really counts. Not deferring to anybody at any given time. Yeah, there's times where he passed off to a John Paxson or, you know, a Steve Kerr. Yeah, but when it's time to get a bucket, I mean, MJ was that dude to take over a game, averaging 40 in the finals one year, winning that championship. I mean, defending the best players. I can't. He's just the greatest to me, man.
Does that Isaiah Thomas comment?
Doesn't take away from.
My bad, yo. My bad. Just said to farewell my fams. Farewell my fams. You know how it is.
And best in our era that I've seen. He's the best. But the GOAT. That's
and I can praise LeBron in a different way because people like T-Mac, guys that can score, would love to play with a guy like LeBron.
Absolutely.
Because they want the ball as well. But when you play with a guy like Michael, who's a superior scorer, and I played most of my career with him, and when you hear a guy come out the huddle and you see that he wants the ball and he's working for it night in and night out, you can't compare him to LeBron because he's not that guy. LeBron is not going to be the guy that say, I want this slice shot.
Yeah,
Get me the ball.
It's going back to...
I hear that from Michael. I've heard that from him. Like, no matter what the situation is, get me the ball.
Yeah.
And basically, that tells me, get him the ball or I'm calling timeout.
No, it's hard for me to look back, you know, in a few of those finals where LeBron just was a no-show. You look at the first championship run with Miami against that Dallas series. I mean, it's hard for me.
He didn't turn up. Your boy didn't turn up. He left his shoes at home, bro. He left his basketball shoes at home, bro. Ah, damn. Michael Jordan had never been bro. He ain't never. Come on, bro. 6 championships, 6 MVPs, bro. 6 finals MVPs, bro. Come on, bro.
To get over that, how he performed in that. Now, he's learned over the years of going back and being dominant, but, you know, to have those mishaps, I mean, MJ never had that in his championship.
Do you think LeBron James is up there with the greatest players of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I think he is.
You know, depends on how you
I think he's up there with the greatest players of all time. He's just not the greatest player of all time. You know what I mean? Because you can say the greatest of all time, like, the greatest players of all time. But out of all those greatest players, who's the greatest? You know what I mean? There's always got to be one. You know what I mean?
You see, because according to the position that he plays, I don't. When people start comparing him with Jordan, then that's not a fair comparison. Because Jordan is far more superior player, and a very, very tough league, and very, very very creative.
Sure.
I mean, that's not taking anything away from LeBron James, because he's a great player, but it's not a fair comparison, because I think Jordan is much far superior.
Yo, that's right. There was another thing. That's right, because there was some other things too, bro. There was another thing with that was, Michael Jordan was doing things at a time where these things hadn't been done before. So he didn't have no blueprint to go off, bro. A lot of these things, a lot of people said Dr. J, and that's damn. Damn, Dr. J was far. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the things that Jordan did, he was the first to do. You know what I mean? So, damn. Whereas today, a lot of these players, this blueprint's been laid time and time and time again, bro, over and over and over again, you know what I mean, by many players before them. So it kind of makes it, a little bit more, damn.
Entering Michael Jordan territory.
LeBron James is a great player. He's a great player in this era, but he's not Michael Jordan. It's two different animals. Michael was a killer. He's an assassin. LeBron is more of a facilitator. He's the guy that you're gonna give the ball, and he's thinking shoot first before pass. Where Michael, you give him the ball, he's thinking he's gonna score 50 on you, and then he's gonna pass. And Michael Jordan was the best player, the greatest player in my era. There's been a lot of great players in this league, and it's hard to give one player that best ever crown. But all I can say is in my era, Michael Jordan was the best player in my era. And he's, I haven't seen anybody else. Kobe is, I guess, the closest to him. But LeBron is great, but he's not Michael Jordan.
No.
Is LeBron close to surpassing MJ in your book?
No.
Not at all? Where do you rank him? Like top 5, top 7?
And definitely top 3. Mm-hmm. But I don't like having this conversation because I actually know all these guys. But I know LeBron, and I think this is LeBron's plan. I think he wants to pass up Kareem. Because if he passes up Kareem in point, we all got to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Think about it.
For sure.
He going to have 4 rings. You already passed up Kobe. You already passed up Mike. Now he passed up Kareem. So if that don't make him the greatest basketball player is, I don't know, what we're talking about. But like when it comes to ranking, it's going to be Mike, it's going to be Kobe, and then probably LeBron. But, that's always,
That's exactly how I would have ranked that shit too. Michael, Kobe, LeBron, bro. That's exactly how I'd be ranking that shit too. You know what I mean? Shit, he on point, bro.
Debatable. But again, I don't think LeBron wants to be compared to Kobe or Mike. LeBron has definitely made his own mark.
Yeah.
But I know him and known him since he was a kid.
First, sometimes Shaq can talk some shit. Sometimes Shaq can talk some shit. You're like, bro, what the hell are you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? But he's talking hella sense right here, bro. Like, you hear what he's saying, bro? This is basically what he's saying, bro. Is, why is everyone comparing these two? Why are you comparing them, bro? They're both, I think LeBron, and just like he said, bro, because I agree with him, I think LeBron's done enough to create his own legacy and to have his own lane. You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? So, to keep comparing them, because there can be more than one, bro. There can always be more than one in the limelight. You know what I mean? That he's the greatest. Like Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. LeBron could be the greatest basketball player to do this, or the greatest basketball player in this way, or the greatest basketball player in that way. You know what I mean? The greatest attacking basketball player, the greatest fucking who knows. Like they said, orchestrating player. You know what I mean? He could be the greatest orchestrating player of all time. But to keep comparing them to, it sort of takes away from both of them, really, when you think about it.
I'm the pass up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and if I was him, I'd do the same thing. Because I'd be like, once I pass up Kareem, I don't want to hear shit else about who the best.
Job with the things that he is doing on the court now. I'm a big Michael Jordan guy. I mean, that was my era. But LeBron's making a great argument to be, one of the greatest, if not the greatest.
Let me ask you.
LeBron James is the greatest player ever.
That's what I say. I
Greater than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I think so.
You cannot tell me in a one-on-one game now that LeBron James wouldn't dominate Mike. In a one-on-one game, LeBron James, 6'9", 260 pounds. If the game was at 7, I think LeBron would win 7-3.
Sweet Lord.
The Cavaliers have LeBron James.
A prime Michael Jordan, one-on-one with a prime LeBron James, Jordan would kill him, bro. Oh my God, that wouldn't even be fair. Jordan would destroy him, bro.
He's the best there is.
Yeah. Do you think he's better than Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
He's 6'8", 285, runs like the wind, jumps out of the gym. And from the moment he walked in the league, his teams won.
He thinks LeBron is not as good as Michael
Did
Jordan?
they?
Come on.
What do you think?
LeBron is in a class by himself.
Very few players. I'm trying to think if there's anybody besides LeBron that has had that combination of speed and size and athleticism and strength. So I think it's, look, LeBron is, I think, the greatest player to ever play.
The conversation, it really is a non-conversation, based purely on generationally. The game changes, ever so many years. And, I played against both of them, obviously, and both of them were dominant in each way that they possibly could be. The way the game is, the way the rules have changed. What the most important thing is that each individual player, based on who you grew up with, they grow you up. They're your childhood idol or favorite, whatever it may be. And that's all it is. I had the opportunity to grow up with Michael Jordan, and I believe he will always be the greatest. And there are kids now that grow up and they'll say,
that's a simple
Steph
way to
Curry,
look at this
LeBron,
shit,
Kevin Durant will be the greatest in their minds because that's who will be nostalgic for them as they.
That's a simple way to look at that shit, though, right? Simple way of stats. Because you got to remember, like we watched in the GOAT debate thing, the field goal percentage is based on the fact that LeBron did a lot, only 30-something percent of his shots were outside of 3 foot of the rim. You know what I mean? So 70-something percent of his shots were dunks, layups, putbacks. You know what I'm saying? Which Jordan's mid-range game, and you know what I mean? Come on, bro. So that's a real simple way to look at this.
They grow up and become adults.
There's Kareem, and then there's a debate, in terms of Jordan and LeBron. And on any given night, who do you like? For me, I look at, the total body of work, what LeBron James is as a basketball player. And if I had to pick one over the other, right now I'm picking LeBron James over a Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever put on shoes and play in our game. No doubt about it. I'm always asked about questions to compare him to LeBron. I try to make the best of it.
You try to make the best of it?
I've tried to make the best of it, but really the comparison shouldn't ever be made. They both play two different positions. The way LeBron James play, Michael Jordan was never asked to play that way because I took that away from him. I was the point forward. I was the facilitator. Michael Jordan is a scorer. He was a defender. He played the game as complete as LeBron James did when he needed to, but he was asked to score the basketball, and that's what he was great at. And there's no game that I would ever play in and pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
No game.
No game.
So now you're just being
Not if
firm
I'm trying
about
to
it.
win. Not if I'm trying to win. I mean, I'm not going to give up my teammate who I won 6 championships with.
I know Michael pretty well, and
That's fair enough too.
And we've talked about things.
That's true too. Like, I'm trying to think like that too. I'm like, bro, is there a game where you would actually say, hey, yo, we need to win this. Like, we need to win this match. And you've got LeBron and Michael Jordan, both in their prime, standing over there. And you're like, shit, I need to pick one player to come on here and help me win this match. Who you going to pick? I already know, bro.
Like that, but I don't think there's any question that if you're a great player, and certainly I'm not sure we've seen a player like him in my lifetime, because of his impressive play on both ends of the court. He was arguably, well, I don't think arguably, he was the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the league.
Facts.
We haven't seen that before.
Facts.
And but the competitive nature of Michael was just unique. And if there's someone that was sort of a challenge to him in terms of, you know, talking about the best player in the league, he was going to prove that that wasn't the case. And also he was going to lead his team. He was just a fierce competitor, but physically, I'm not sure we've seen a package like that. The quickness, the lateral quickness, the vertical, the running, gigantic hands, being able to do things in the air that we see we haven't really seen anyone do like him.
I just think there needs to be a line in the sand and no more comparisons, because it just can't be. You know, Jordan didn't come straight out of high school. What if Jordan would have played 2 more years? Jordan played in a different era, you know. So I'm kind of worn out of the comparisons, because I think you still have to talk about him being better than Kobe. You can't just jump up to Jordan. I don't think numbers just mean it. And I think maybe he is the greatest teammate of all time instead of individual players. So when you get into the weeds of it, I've heard some really good arguments, and I can agree with those. But the overall arguments, I'm not sure. Because one day Durant's going to break all of those, and I think Durant will actually break Kareem's record. So it means a lot that he did that, and I'm congratulations, very happy for him. But it doesn't do anything in the argument of who's better to me.
The reason that I feel LeBron is the GOAT is because during pressure times, he still makes the actual right decision versus what us fans and the public wants him to do. You know, and that's what separates, you know, him from Jordan and Kobe, where if you give Jordan and Kobe those Cavs teams, they wouldn't have made the playoff. They wouldn't have made it to the championship, because Jordan would have just averaged 60 and said, the hell with it. We were spoiled by Jordan.
I don't know about that part.
You know, the grace
That's a big
he
statement.
brought to the game, his fierceness, the way he ended games. And when Kobe came, we seen Jordan-like. So what ends up happening is, when you have a player like LeBron who comes into the game, who doesn't have the instincts of Jordan and Kobe, they're gonna take that last shot no matter what. We feel that if you're the best player, you're the star. You're compared to Jordan and Kobe.
You become the star because you're the best player, bro. Don't get that twisted for a minute. You become the star because of how good you are, bro. And because of that killer instinct and that never give up. And that, yo, I am the best player on my team. Therefore, when it's time to make that shot, it's down to me to do that. You know what I mean?
To be Jordan and Kobe like, which is not necessarily correct. Jordan and Kobe possessed something LeBron didn't have, which was a first step, you know, which made them one-on-one players. LeBron came in as Magic Johnson, meaning his vision is his key. As someone who loved Michael Jordan and Kobe, we get mad and we want to knock him because he's using his vision when we allow them to use their one-on-one skill to finish plays. It's unfair to say you can use your one-on-one.
That only made them different players. It doesn't say that it still believes the debate of who's best, right? That only makes them different. That doesn't, just like every other player, just like Larry Bird's different, just like Magic Johnson's different, just like every other player is different. That's all. Like, you know what I mean? But you still left with the question, who's the best out of all of them? Like, he's making good arguments here, but at the end of all of this, you're still going to be left with the question, well, so is he better or not? Like, you know what I mean? Because you can make this argument with every player. They're all different. They all play different. You know what I mean?
One skills, but you can't use your gift. You can't use your vision. You can't see the open man. You're supposed to chuck the shot up, and if it goes in, we're gonna cheer you on. And if you miss it, we're gonna say, he don't have
and
it.
that's another thing. And that's another thing. Hey, you might have better vision, right? But is your shooting better? Is your defense better? Is your mid-range shot better? Is your three-point shot better? Is your fucking three-point shot, is your free throw shot better? Is, you know what I mean? Is your one-on-one game better? Yeah, you might have better vision, but that don't make you a better player. You know what I mean? You might have better vision, but that doesn't make you a better player, bro.
You know, this is what makes him great. The ability to see the open guy if he's not the open guy. Just like Jordan.
If that was the case, Larry Bird would be the best player in the world, bro. If that was the case, Larry Bird's vision was insane, bro. Are you kidding me? Like, you can't just say because you got better vision, bro, you're a better player. No, you're just a different player.
Made himself the open guy. But we didn't knock him when he passed it to Steve Kerr. I mean, he didn't pass it to him knowing he was going to make the shot. He passed it to it hoping he would make that shit.
Is that right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did play against Jordan.
Okay, the second best player you played against is who?
I did play against Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. So, I mean, I think right there, I don't really have an order. I mean, I could think MJ's there, and then you have Kobe, and probably the second best.
Who can go?
Michael Jordan. Okay, listen, and this is LeBron is one of my good friends. I have so much respect for what he's doing now, what he's done, and what he would eventually do, because he's not done yet. So it's definitely, I'm gonna say this, it would definitely be an argument that would need to be had. If LeBron James end up the #1 scorer of all time, top 5 in assists and top 5 in rebounds, and have 4, 5, 6 championships, you cannot do nothing but have the conversation of who's the greatest of all time.
The conversation's already happening.
Well, the conversation's been happening, but it's not good. LeBron's still playing. It's hard to have that conversation about the greatest of all time when a man is still putting on his jersey, right? So, but when he's done, his lineup, his statistical lineup is going to be the greatest that's ever played the game when it comes to scoring, assists, rebounds, so forth and so on. I come from a Jordan era. I am biased, and I'm going to be a bias to the day I pass away. Michael Jordan will be my GOAT.
I always loved you. I love you even more.
No, he would be my GOAT. But that doesn't mean I'm not taking anything away from LeBron. LeBron is amazing, but Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I play basketball because of Michael Jordan. Yeah. My thing is like, this is a real conversation, right? All of us have our own individual opinions. This has nothing to do with, like I said, once LeBron James is done playing this game of basketball, I'm definitely gonna tell my grandkids, kids, that I played with one of the greatest to play the game of basketball. He will be the GOAT for a lot of generations. I started playing the game because of Michael Jordan. He will be my GOAT until the day I pass away. It doesn't take anything away from LeBron. This is just like LeBron. We started playing, we envisioned playing like Michael Jordan. So for me, from Chicago, where I grew up, I made it out the hood because I seen a dude, number 23, play the game of basketball at a level that I was like, I just want to do some of that. So it doesn't take anything away from LeBron. LeBron will be the GOAT of this generation that has watched him grow up, just like we watched Michael Jordan kind of grow and go into what we call a GOAT. That's why I always say my GOAT. This is not personal. LeBron's my guy. But Jordan is my GOAT.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and give me your most unbiased opinion on why Jordan is better than LeBron or why LeBron is better than Jordan. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and show love to the YG gang, and I'm out.
I already told y'all what. That's a pretty dope video too. That's a pretty dope video, and I told y'all what. So yo, run the numbers up on this. Thanks for tapping in, Bart. If there's anything else you want me to react to, all the way here from New Zealand, make sure you send it in. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the drop, alright? Yo, y'all know what up, bro. Stay safe, stay dangerous, and we out. Peace.